What's up, everybody? It is your boy Trippy. Welcome back to Trippy Speaks UFC. We are the best MMA content creators. We are the champions of the MMA content creation world. The rest are just contenders, and you guys know that I couldn't go without giving my two thoughts on this. And you guys, I am pissed. I am pissed once again because of the absolute casualistic, abysmal disrespect that is being shown to Tyron Woodley is just incredible, in my opinion. You guys truly call yourselves fans, and you guys completely count out a former 5-time UFC welterweight champion against a guy with 4 boxing matches. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. And I don't know where all this came from. I don't. Please, somebody inform me. I'm guessing it was that so-called, quote-unquote, stunning knockout performance over Ben Askren Jake Paul had. So let's just refresh real quick. So everybody, we are just fresh off of everybody thinking that Ben Askren had a solid chance of beating Jake Paul. We just came off of that. A few months ago, some of you guys were putting money, cold hard cash, your hard-earned money on Ben Askren to beat Jake Paul. And you go, I'm not stupid because I actually know the sport of fighting. I knew that Jake Paul was probably going to beat Ben Askren. No, I wouldn't have guessed that Paul would have absolutely starched Ben Askren in under 2 minutes. No, I wouldn't have guessed that. But I knew that he was going to beat up Ben Askren because Ben Askren's only way to winning that fight was to tire Jake Paul out. Wasn't to outbox him, it was to utilize dirty boxing and utilize the clinch to beat Jake Paul in a boxing match. So how does that even make sense? So now we got a guy who is a former 5-time UFC champion. A guy who was literally just champion 5 minutes ago. Like literally last year this guy was champion. So let me ask you guys this. You guys thought that Ben Askren was going to win? Somebody please let me know. When was the last time Tyron Woodley fought? Vicente Luque, correct? That was 2 months ago, correct? Okay, cool. When was the last time Ben Askren fought before he boxed Jake Paul? It was Damian Maia. You want to know how long that was ago? Over a year ago. The man has been retired, sitting on his butt for over a year, and then he gets a call to go box Jake Paul for a bunch of freaking money. He hops off the couch, hops in the boxing ring, first ever professional boxing ring, and he gets knocked out. But you guys are forgetting something. Everybody's like, Ben Askren's experience, Ben Askren this, Ben Askren that. Ben Askren is regarded as the worst striker in MMA history. His last fight was against Damian Maia in Singapore, and he got outstruck by Damian Maia. He got outstruck by Damian Maia. Are you kidding me? Not to mention, the guy was out of shape coming off of 2 hip surgeries and was forced to fight Jake Paul at 190 pounds. Not only did he beat Ben Askren, but he didn't even fight or beat a prime Ben Askren. He beat an out of shape, coming off of 2 hip surgeries Ben Askren. So everybody, I'm guessing, is blown away by the performance Jake Paul put up against Ben Askren and how he outboxed Ben Askren, but you guys gotta realize Ben Askren posed him no threat in a boxing ring. Ben Askren can't knock him out. I hit harder than Ben Askren. Ben Askren wasn't going to tire him out because there was a strong chance that he wouldn't have even made it there. Because there is one thing that I absolutely have to give Paul. I have to give Jake Paul this, and that is that the guy is a puncher. He has significant power, and he can put down a mule. He can hit. He can punch. That is something that is true. And that is something that I ultimately have to give to him. But let's break the fight down honestly and objectively, because you guys have, I guess, forgot. Yes, Woodley is coming off of 4 fights that he has lost. 4 losses in a row. And 4, I think 2 of them were dominant decisions and 2 of them were ugly finishes. Okay, the guy has been getting beat up by the highest level fighters in the world, okay? Colby Covington, Gilbert Burns, Kamaru Usman, who was the other guy? Vicente Luque. These guys are absolutely studs in terms of fighting. He's boxing a guy with, you guys have to remember this. I know the skills Jake Paul's shown us, but he is only on his 4th boxing match, and he's fighting a seasoned striker, a seasoned puncher, a seasoned champion from the UFC, who is known for his hands. So let's just break the fight down honestly and objectively. Tyron Woodley throws almost every punch better than Jake Paul. He does. Every punch better. He has, I wouldn't say that he has better boxing fundamentals, but we don't know how good Jake Paul's boxing fundamentals. His boxing fundamentals did look great against a retired over-the-hill wrestler. It did. But we're going to see, I don't know if Jake Paul's, if you put him in front of a guy who can hit like Woodley and has just as good boxing fundamentals, I don't know if those fundamentals will look so good in front of a guy like that. So let's just break it down honestly and objectively. Tyron Woodley damn near throws every punch better in the book than Jake Paul. He's faster, he's stronger, he's more experienced, he's more elite. Not to mention, he's probably even still more durable. He has higher fight IQ. He has better distant management. He has better hooks, better crosses. He might not have a better jab. I might give Paul the better jab. So he's shorter. He's stockier, but he's stronger than Paul. He's stronger than Jake Paul. Better than him in the clinch, which may be utilized a lot in this fight, especially if Woodley gets hurt or he gets hit with a good shot. Or if Jake Paul gasses out. Not to mention, Tyron Woodley has a better engine than Jake Paul. He is in fight shape. This is not an out of shape Tyron Woodley that he's going to fight. We don't even know how good Jake Paul's gas tank is, and you guys are already counting out Tyron Woodley. So, I just had to come on here and say all this. The way I can honestly see the fight going, and the one thing that worries me about Tyron Woodley, because he is representing the MMA community, and so our hopes and our dreams rely on this guy to finally shut Jake Paul's mouth. And I don't mind Jake Paul. Jake Paul, it's the UFC's fault. It's the UFC's fault. If he goes out there and knocks out Woodley, this is the UFC's fault. They won't stop him. They stopped George St. Pierre from boxing Oscar De La Hoya, but they won't stop Tyron Woodley from boxing Jake Paul and possibly getting chinned and possibly getting another one of our champions humiliated in front of the world. So the way I see this fight going, and the one thing that worries me about Tyron Woodley is the mileage on his body. The guy has been put through the ringer, and he's been finished in ugly ways. His last one coming to Vicente Luque. Though he's never been put out. He hasn't been put out. His last time he got put out was against Nate Marquardt. And, that worries me because the mileage on his chin, man. Jake Paul, like I said, is a significant puncher. His footwork. Tyron Woodley has far better footwork. Jake Paul doesn't even have that good of footwork defensively. He doesn't pressure intelligently, and he doesn't have that good of head movement pressuring. What happens when you pressure Tyron Woodley unintelligently? Yeah, you get the back of your head sent into the canvas. So it's like Jake Paul also, whenever a guy blitzes at him, key in the Nate Robinson fight, Jake Paul backs up in straight lines, not cutting angles, backs up in straight lines and doesn't throw anything back. For him to throw something back, he literally turns his body away from you, plants, and throws an overhand right. Are you kidding me? That same overhand right punch is the same punch that Tyron Woodley throws 10 times better than Jake Paul. That is Tyron Woodley's best punch, but unfortunately, that is also Jake Paul's best punch. So, you mean to tell me that a seasoned striker, a seasoned fighter like Tyron Woodley is not going to be able to see everything that a guy like Jake Paul throws a million times before he even throws it? Like, come on, you guys. He's going to see that from a mile away. Woodley has better distant management, like I said. Woodley has higher fight IQ, even in the boxing ring. Not to mention, you're giving Tyron Woodley 92 days to prepare for a guy with 3 boxing matches. These are things that we have to understand. A guy who's not tested in the octagon or in the boxing ring. Tyron Woodley hasn't been tested in a boxing ring before, yeah. Okay, but Jake Paul hasn't been tested against an elite fighter like Woodley in a boxing ring. He hasn't. He's had 4 fights against absolute scrubs. Ben Askren is not a scrub in terms of MMA, but he is an absolute can scrub in the boxing ring. Who is he scaring in a boxing ring? Nate Robinson would put up a good fight against Ben Askren. That is just the harsh truth of it. Tyron Woodley poses some real threats here, and I can absolutely see him beating Jake Paul. The best way for Jake Paul to win, there is not just zero way for Jake Paul to win this fight. Absolutely not. Like I said, the one thing that worries me is that Tyron Woodley at 40 years old and with the mileage that he has, 39, with the mileage that he has, that he gets caught and dropped by the much younger Jake Paul and gets put out. That scares me so much. But if his chin is not a liability, I think that he can absolutely win this fight by an easy margin. It's just that, I don't know, man. It's just that Woodley is unpredictable, bro. Just like Cody Garbrandt, you just don't know what you're about to get. So this one scares me. The way I can personally see it going is that Jake Paul probably catches Tyron Woodley, and he probably rocks him. Thinks that he has Woodley finished, goes in and tries to finish him, and gets countered with a nasty overhand right by the former champ. Gets his butt placed firmly on the canvas, gets back up, and gets the 10 count possibly, remains in the fight, and then just is on edge the rest of the fight. Whenever he gets blitzed down, whenever he tries to throw his feints at Tyron Woodley, whenever he tries to pressure Tyron Woodley cautiously, Tyron Woodley's going to blitz at him, and Jake Paul is going to back up in a straight line, and that's just asking for Tyron Woodley to send the back of your head into the ropes. That's just how it is. So I do see, right now, I got my money on Woodley, you guys. Stop underestimating him. It's absolutely stupid that you're underestimating him against a guy with 3 boxing matches. It's been your boy Trippy, and I'm out, man. Let me know what you guys think. Peace out. Bye.